right, and our last inductee of the evening is one of our coaches. And to do that, Dan Buchanan will do the introductions on this, our next inductee.
I get the distinct honor to introduce our coach for the 2024 Sycamore Hall of Fame, and that is Coach Mike Teets. I will touch on some of his accolades. I know I will miss some, and I apologize, but this is his 23rd season coaching tennis. He's the current president of the Greater Cincinnati Tennis Coaches Association. He's the current vice president of the Ohio Tennis Coaches Association. He won the Ohio High School Athletic Sportsmanship, Integrity, and Ethics Award. If you know Mike, it's a given. He's the Greater Cincinnati Tennis Association Coach of the Year 6 times. He was the National Federation of High Schools State Coach of the Year twice. He's been the Sycamore boys coach, like I said, for 23 years. He's the varsity and JV and varsity B coach for 5 years. He has 5 state team titles, 14, 15, 16, 22, and 23. He has 2 state doubles champions. He has 14 GMC champions. This is just boys, okay? So I'm still going. He's 14-time GMC Coach of the Year. For Sycamore girls, he's coached 17 seasons as a varsity coach, 1 year as a varsity B. He has 2 GMC championships in girls. He has been the 6th-time GMC Coach of the Year for girls. He has coached at Sycamore Junior High. He's been a junior high basketball coach for 27 years. He coached football for 3, girls tennis for 2, track for 2. At Indian Hill, he was the CHL Coach of the Year 2 times, 7-time CHL champions, and he was at Ross for 6 years as their JV and varsity coach. The other night, I was at a girls lacrosse game, and I was talking to Scott Stemple, who's the AD at Mason, okay? Green and white team we don't mention a whole lot. And we were talking about tennis, and we were talking about Mike. And he paid him the ultimate compliment. When an AD says something about your coach, what kind of team he brings to you when they play. His kids play as a team. You heard him mention that. If you ask these young men over there, he takes an individual sport and makes it a team. And that's very difficult to do in this day and age. Okay? And I witnessed this at a GMC tournament one year. If you've been to Mason, courts are all over the place. His guys are here playing singles, they're playing doubles, and every time between points, they're turning and yelling to their teammates, next point, next point. That tells you that he brings his guys together as a team. So it was my great honor to introduce Mike Teets as the 2024 Sycamore Hall of Fame coach.
Thank you. Very nice, Dan. First of all, I want to thank, I want to congratulate all the other inductees. You guys are all outstanding, and I had the privilege to either coach you, teach you, or just know you, and also obviously Paul Payne. I'm excited to be included in your group. So you guys are terrific. I want to thank Steve Emhoff and the committee. Steve, you do an amazing job each year with this, and it's a ton of work. But we really appreciate it. I know since I got to Sycamore, this is my 33rd year. When I first got here, I learned really quickly, Steve Emhoff, no one bleeds green and gold more than Steve Emhoff. This district has a treasure, and his name is Steve Emhoff. So thank you, Steve. I want to thank my wife, Jana. She has done so many things every single day over the year. Coaches are always away from home, and she juggles family and everything the home needs, and she's a veterinarian, just constantly busy, and she has held things together my entire career. So thank you, Jana, for all you've done. I want to thank my son, Derek, and Dr. Katie for being here tonight. I couldn't be more proud than the people you've become. Stephanie, thank you for coming with us also. I've had a lot of athletic directors since I've been at Sycamore, and I want to thank all of them at the high school and the junior high. Obviously, we were all very saddened with Mark Harden's passing. He was a huge supporter of Sycamore tennis, and also a huge North Carolina Tar Heel fan, so I was endeared to him immediately. We had a lot of talks about North Carolina basketball, so Mark will be sorely missed. Special shout out to Jim DeJoy, former junior high athletic director, for making the trip from Florida to be here tonight. One of the things that's always nice as a tennis coach is to see people show up from administration. Chad Lewis, Kelly Wegner, many other central office employees make trips out to the tennis courts, and we love seeing you guys, so thank you guys for doing that. The high school, we had Taylor Porter and Ashwin Corteal and several other administrators that come out, so we really appreciate you guys showing support for tennis. It means a lot. Huge thanks to Dan Buchanan. No one puts in more time in this district to help sports than Dan does. He does everything he can to make the coach's life easier, and he's been doing that just for years and years and years. And you may not know this about Dan. He is a good friend of mine, but you may not know what a master motivator Dan is. Probably for the past 20 years, on almost a daily basis, he has threatened to fire me if we don't hang another banner. He's always talking about hanging more banners. He tells me he has my replacement on speed dial. So that kind of motivation can't help but push me to better coach. I also want to thank Kyle Smith, who is newer to the district, but he does an amazing job, and he and Dan are covering for Mark. Kyle is outstanding, and I couldn't do what I do without him. So great job by Kyle. Assistant coaches Tanya Holland and Lee Pittman. They do an outstanding, definitely. They really do a terrific job helping our JV and varsity B guys learn just what it's like to play with class and dignity and compete hard at the same time. They've been with us for many years, and I consider myself extremely lucky to have assistant coaches like that. They really make our program better. And also Lindsay Farrow, who isn't here tonight, but she spent many years as our JV coach. Same thing. I just had great people helping coach our players. At the junior high level, Rose Andriola, Lisa Meyer, many other coaches have done a great job. Tennis is an individual sport, and what they do is teach kids what it's like to be part of a team. It's important that junior high kids learn that early, so that when they get to the high school, they're ready to go. Some other coaches I want to say a big thank you to. I've worked with a lot of them. Junior high football legends: Dick Stegmeyer, Kevin Kreiner, Pat Montgomery, Victor Harris, Jim DeJoy. What a privilege to coach with them and learn from them. Girls track, Stephanie Reedy and Pat Montgomery. Stephanie's a big tennis fan, and she always discusses my lineups with me. She gets mad if I don't tell her my lineup on match day, but she gives a lot of input. In basketball, I got to coach with Brian Heffron. I currently coach with Tyler James, Paul Reedy, Irv Brown, Jordan Pouncey, Eddie Clark, John Robinson, Jim Smanik. Jim, I'll tell you what, Jim and I have solved many of the world's problems on the way home. When I drive home from my matches, we talk, and he helps me solve political problems, sports world, all that stuff. But I truly have learned something about coaching from all of these coaches. I feel like they're a big part of my career. Big shout out to the junior high staff members who are here tonight. I'll tell you, working at the junior high, it is truly a second family. They are so supportive and just enthusiastic about everything we do. I can't say it better than it's a second family. You guys are fantastic, so thank you guys. I want to thank all the tennis parents over the years. It is amazing the things they do for our team. Buying us food, even today, buying us food, driving players everywhere, supporting the team financially. They organize senior, they just do so much, and they don't get thanked nearly enough. So to all the tennis parents out there, thank you for all you've done. And all my former and current players, you guys do so much work. Tennis is a specialized sport, and for most of them, if they're not playing year-round, they're not really achieving at the highest level, and that's in some ways a shame, but that's just the way it is. They put in so many hours outside the season, and and then the demands on during the season are just tremendous. So all credit to them. They're the ones who do the work, and they continue to achieve at a really high level. I'm just fortunate to share in their success, so thank you to the players. Speaking of former players, Eric Pittman is here from Colorado. He was the only singles and doubles state champion in Sycamore history. He played other varsity football and basketball. Sycamore has never seen a better athlete than Eric Pittman, but more important than that is his humility. And I don't know if Eric knows this, but in my mind, I had him in the 90s in basketball. I didn't get coached in tennis, I was the JV coach, but I always held him up as the standard for all the other players to be measured against. So Eric, great to have you here. In closing, coaching Sycamore tennis has just been a huge privilege for me. I can honestly say that I still look forward to it each day, whether it's practices or matches. I'm truly grateful for this Hall of Fame induction. I find it humbling, but I really believe that it belongs to all the players and coaches who have been part of Sycamore tennis over the years. I'm just the lucky one who gets to accept it on their behalf. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you to everyone who's helped us get there, and thanks to all of you for being here tonight.